All right, welcome to another day live. I am Michael, your host, Love and Freedom. And today we will be talking about communicate, having a communication or relationship with your significant others. Okay. Let me get the disclaimer out. As I always say, guys, I am no doctor of love. I'm no doctor feel good. I'm no doctor know it all. I am no physician and no fashion at all. I am no travel agent. I am no travel guru. I am no travel agency. I'm just me, plain old country boy from Waynesboro, Mississippi, that's here to tell and share some boots on the ground type experience with you guys. Okay. I know this conversation may not fit everybody, may not be everybody cup of tea because we're not talking about anything sexual or anything provocative or anything. It's just a mental health conversation that needs to be talked about on a regular basis. And we don't look at mental health as part of our health. But mental health is very important, guys. Health is wealth all the way around. And we take it for granted until it's too late. So mental health is very important. We have a very high, especially with our veterans, we have a very high suicidal rate, and each and every day it's definitely a tragedy to lose someone to because of a mental health issue. Okay, so today it's going to touch close to home that I'm going to be talking to you guys about when it comes to mental health and communicating with your significant other. I know I see a lot of people, this ain't, something they want to hear, they want to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. Shout out to my cousin Donna. Donna's in the chat. What's going on with your cousin? David D. Thank you, cousin, for joining the live. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to another Live at 5. And today we're going to get into something that could really make or break a relationship. Okay. This is a very, very sensitive topic because we have shied away from being, close to our loved ones, showing our significant other that we are their best friends, because whether you know it or not, you all you got, you know what I'm saying? Because their friendship outside of your relationship is definitely not something you can really depend on, not something that you can actually be 100% sure about. But if you are into a relationship with your significant other, that should be your first go-to about any issue or problem that you have. Okay, I don't care how small you think the problem is, you need to communicate. That should be your best friend. That should be your go-to person. Okay, so communication with a loved one is something on a level that we mistaken for, as you can only talk about how someone feel, or going out shopping, materialistic stuff or whatever. Communicating with a significant other, a spouse, or a loved one is about each and everything in life. You can love somebody deeply and you still have a relationship filled with stress if you don't know how to communicate with each other. You can be in love, you can love them to death, but if you are stressed out in that relationship, you're not going to want to communicate, because you're going to think, here we go again. If I say something to them, it's going to provoke them. They're going to get angry. We're going to have problems. And I don't want them kind of problems today. I don't feel like arguing today. Well, you need to start early, so in your relationship, so you would know how to become friends and talk about each and everything that goes on in your life. And the biggest thing about relationship is communication, number one. People don't understand that. And this is bigger than relationship. Communication can affect your mental, emotion health, mentally and emotionally health. It can really affect, as I say again, guys, you come in on chat, I'm not no doctor or no perfect relationship coach or anything. I'm just talking from boots on the ground type experience, guys. You can listen if you like. You can take what I'm saying. I didn't just happen to stumble on 30, almost 31 years with my wife. I didn't happen to just hold on by the grace of luck. Of course, we have hard times. Of course, it hadn't been easy. But being there for one another really makes a difference. And when you decide to step outside that comfort zone and stop letting your uh, ego or your pride get in the way and start trusting your significant others with your emotions or with your feelings, then you'll be a lot better off. Then you'll start understanding where that acronym come in as being your wife or your husband's best friend, because you are able to talk about any and everything. That's just like if you had your best friend, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or whatever, or your guy friend, or whatever, and you always talking to them about certain things. And people gonna say, well, certain things don't need to be talked about to your significant other. Well, why do you feel comfortable talking to your so-called best friend and you can't talk about that to your significant others? That's a breach in the communication. That's a breach. You should be able to talk to them about each and everything. My wife and I talk about, basically, if I talks about something with someone else, I talk to her about it. I tell her about, conversation pretty much, and we elaborate on it and we move on. We don't sit there at the harp and harp on everybody's life, but we do have a conversation. We take time out throughout the day. She may come sit over here in my little space. I might go sit over there with her, whether we watching a movie, communicating together, or we sitting just having a chat about future plans or whatever it may be, or something we saw on social media, or versus what she saw, I saw, and we'll touch base and we'll communicate. We express our feelings, express our thoughts, our laughter, and then it builds a bondage when you're able to communicate. You don't just sit around in the house doing your own thing in life, have your own space. It's okay to have your own space, but you still have to communicate living in the house amongst each other. So communication is very, very important. Very important. So when you're constantly holding on to things inside, wondering what that person is thinking, walking on eggshells, or feeling like nobody listening to you, that could become an emotional, exhausting situation, guys. It can become an exhausting emotional situation when you're walking on eggshell, scared to communicate, scared to talk with one another. It can really become draining. So talk with one another first. You don't have to go outside of your household to tell everybody what's going on with your house problem, what's going on in your house. You got someone there in the house to talk to about the problems you got going on in the house. They are part of the problem. Y'all supposed to be consulting and resolving these problems together, not outside telling the neighbors or what's going on with your problem inside your house. Because they are the type of person that's on the outside looking in and don't really understand what's going on with your relationship or with you and your significant other, because they are on the outside. They are called outsiders. Only you know what's going on in your household. And that's when you need to start talking to your best friend, which is your significant other, to address the issues, not run to someone else and try to pull them into your marriage or your love life. You have a best friend. Utilize your best friend as your therapy, your go-to person, your loved one, your best friend, your road dog, your sidekick, however you want to call him. Just stop trying to get what you want to call it, getting I won't say authorization, validation. That's what I was looking for. Stop trying to get validations from someone on the outside of your house or your relationship when you have validations right there within you with your loved one, your significant other. You have validation. Validate each other. Don't go running out trying to get someone else to validate your life, what's going on in your household, or what's going on with your love life. You don't need that validation. Hell, I'm sure that person got problems of their own in their house, but they may not even be talking to you about their problem. But then they want you to think that they got it all put together. No, that other person may know how to handle their business. And if they are any type of person that's supposed to be a friend or whoever it may be that you're running to about your problems, instead of talking to your significant other about it, they are not your friend or someone you need to be talking to. Because if they was anybody that really cared, they won't entertain that. They won't even comment on you. They'll just say, girl or guy, whatever, my boy, whatever, man, y'all need to straighten that out, man. Y'all need to handle that, man. I ain't got, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't know what's going on in y'all relationship, man. Y'all need to sit down and talk about it. Basically, that's what a therapist would do. If you go and try to seek professional help, you are your own advocate. You can sit down once y'all cool down as my therapist, man. Getting mental therapy was the best thing I could ever do. It really helped me a lot. They teach you how, if you go in that moment, it's heated, it's hot, stop right there. Don't say nothing else. Don't get all upset. Just walk away and say, all right, we'll talk about this again later. And give yourself time. Walk away, start doing something else, get your mind distracted with something else so you will know how to handle it once you have a level head and you had time to think about it. Walk away. Even if it's not that same day you talk about it, don't let it interfere or interrupt you to cause you mentally have mental stress or exhaustion. Talk about it later amongst yourself, not trying to reach out to that home girl, homeboy, whatever, and tell them what's going on in your household or what's going on in your relationship with your significant other, because all it's going to do is make things worse. Because sometimes what works for them or their mental state or their relationship with their bonding with their significant other is not on the same level that yours is on. So you cannot always base what someone else got going on in their life with their significant other, because we all handle our life and live our life differently. That's why it comes to when you're saying stop watching what the Joneses do. It's not telling you that just because you can't keep up with them financially or what I want to say with materialistic stuff. You can't keep up with what the Joneses doing because first of all, you don't know what's going on in the Joneses house. So worry about what's going on in your house, communicate with your significant other, and then you won't have time or you won't be worried about trying to run and tell all your personal business or what's going on mentally with your significant others. So tonight I want to ask you guys, can you really have a healthy relationship without healthy communication? Put that in the comment section below. Can you really have a healthy relationship without healthy communication? Okay, I'm eager to hear how you guys or what you guys do when it comes down to being on that communication path with your significant other. I'm not telling you to tell me all your personal business or whatever. Donna said in the comment, hell no, you can't. Hey, I know that's right. No, you can't. You cannot have a healthy relationship without healthy communication. And it starts with sitting down, being level-headed. Even if you guys sitting down having a cup of coffee or tea together or eating dinner together or whatever, just doing something together in a closed-minded environment where it's calm, there's no stress, no animosity or nothing. And then you say, hey, I wanted to talk to you the other day about this or whatever it may be. Once again, guys, I'm no therapist. I'm no love doctor. I'm no perfect couple relationship with advice. I'm just giving you boots on the ground type living experience that has helped me with me and my my best friend, which is my wife. These things have helped. You got to go then take away and go back in later and then say, hey, you know what? All right, let's talk about, don't say let's pick up where we left off at, because it's going to go right back to what you just said. You're going to have that mindset. Let's pick up where we left off at. If you see you're about and you can't have a healthy conversation, just say, all right, I see where it's going. But not in a negative way. Okay then, sweetie. Okay, baby, or whatever, my love. Or, okay, wife. Or, okay, hubby. Let's talk about this later. I see it's gonna aggravate us. Don't say it aggravates you, because you're making it seem like that they are the problem. Okay. When you say that, say let's talk about this later, because I see that we're both about to have problems when we start, before we even get started. So don't always make that person, your significant other, feel like that they are the problem. Like I said, I didn't 31 years with my wife, and for nothing. It hadn't been easy. Don't get me wrong. We've had our problems, our time, but I seek the help, and I understand, and I ask the Most High to guide me to a better relationship with my wife, before she could be my best friend. I don't have to be out in the streets looking for companionship or someone to be my best friend. I have, all these years I've been had my best friend right here under my nose. So I utilize my best friend, as my significant other, as my wife, as my lover, as my guidance, as one. We are one. And we have discovered that. I can sit there and be thinking of something. She'll come right in and say, hey, let's do this, or what I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I was just thinking about that. So you do become one, especially if it's a healthy environment, a healthy relationship. So talk to your significant others, God. Communicate. Be on the level of saying, you know what? You're my best friend. I need to talk to you about something. Hey, just like you would go and run and talk to your homegirl, your homeboy. You know, communicating. Communicating is a big thing. Like I say, I'm no love doctor. Shout out to you, Barry. I see you in there. What's good with you, my brother? Donna said, my husband is my best friend and my pain in my ass. I heard that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, cousin. But at least you know who you can go to. You know what I'm saying? At least you know he got your back. You know what I'm saying? My wife has pulled me through so many ruts. I know it's been times where I put her through pure hell. But she didn't give up on me. And that's what I love about her. Barry said, what's good, brother? I finally caught you live. Okay, appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Tap on that screen for me, man. You can help get the live out to more people, man. I just be on here giving some real live, boots on the ground type situation. You know what I'm saying? That may be able to help someone. And Barry probably remember a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't know if it's been that long. I'm going through my things, you know. My mental health was to a point that I said, fuck it, man. I didn't even care no more. But I seek the help and the guidance, and things have been a lot better. I found what it takes, what I needed. And all along, I just needed to get away, I needed to change up my environment. I needed to get away, travel, see something different, open up my mind, and just focus on what's best for us. Yes, sir. Most definitely. You remember I was live. I was in the DR at that time. I wasn't on my medication and shit, man. I was like, shit. And you would think, and this was real life situation, guys. I was live and I had one of those moments. And I was supposed to have been on vacation. Barry tell you, I'm over in the Dominican Republic. Man. And that shit hit me like, whoo, man. And I wasn't on my medication, and I'm traveling, and now I see, you know, Markel did bring up a situation where people that's 100% PTSD traveling and going different places and not taking their meds or whatever. That shit, hey, that's real. That's real, man. If you need that meds and you know you're not right, you shouldn't be traveling, especially another country, and you ain't got no one there that can be there for you. But thank to the Most High, you know, I was live. I had Barry and Mark Evans reach out to me and you know, kind of snap me back to say, hey, you know what? And that's what I did. The next day, I got the hell out of there. I got back home. That's what, I was like, shit, no. And Markel was, saying, go to a local pharmacy, man, get your medicine, whatever you need to do. Shit, I said I wasn't taking no chances. I got out of there. I headed on back home. I ended that little vacation quicker than I had planned. And it was for the best of me. So guys, communicate, man. Communicate. It's not the end of the world to talk to your significant other or your loved one or someone that's in your corner. Talk to them. Tell them how you feel. Tell them what you're going through. Tell them if you had a dream, a bad dream, and you wake up. I tell my wife all the time. She'll tell me about her dreams. We communicate like that. I wake up and say, damn, man, I don't even want to go. I woke myself up for a bad dream, and I don't even want to go back to sleep because that shit seems so real. And, I won't wake her up from the dream and tell her that, but I'll wait till she'll say, oh, how long you been up? Are you up already? Yeah, I'm up. Couldn't go back to sleep because I had a bad dream. And she'll want to hear it. Well, what is it? And I say, I don't want to talk about it. She said, yeah, tell me about it. You need to talk about it. And I tell her about it. And she's like, oh, wow, this is not the first time. She'll remind me, this and that. Did you pray before you go to sleep? You went to sleep? Yes, I did, whatever. So we talk about her. She'll tell me about her dreams, communicating, little things matter. You may not think that little conversation matters, but little conversations can be a life-saving conversation. Okay? There's no such thing as small talk. I don't know where they get that from. A small talk can be a life-saving talk. Really can. So, number one, communication creates emotional safety, guys. A healthy relationship should be somewhere where you could communicate without constantly being afraid of reaction. And that goes to what I was saying earlier. Don't be afraid that you're going to provoke them or they're going to outlash or whatever. You got to go to them. You need to understand and learn each other and know how. Sometimes your body, motion of your body or your posture of your body, your gesture of your body, or how you come out to someone, the way you present it. And my therapist had me reminded me of this. I told him I didn't like how I said, to my therapist, I didn't like how my wife said this or whatever. And she said, it may be just you guys come from two different types of culture. What you used to growing up down south doing, she from, a Latin heritage, she's not used to the way she presented to you. You may be interpreting it wrong. That may be the only way she know how to express or say it. And you misinterpreting what she's saying in a negative way. So you got to sometime understand that you guys come from two different backgrounds, and way she said may not be the way she meant it. So stop getting into your feelings and misunderstanding. Learn your wife's communication. Understand how your wife presents. You should already, she was on me hard. You should already know your wife, or maybe you haven't even taken the time to understand and learn. Y'all maybe haven't been able to communicate because you was on two different paths. You was out there with your mind somewhere else, and she had her mind focused probably on you, but you had your mind focused on something else, whatever it may be. But you have to start learning your body, the way somebody come off, your tone of your voice. I come off on my tone of voice all the time. My son will tell me all the time when he say something or I get a, I say a response. He's like, damn, Dad, you don't get mad about it. I'm not angry. And then that calms me down because my mind, first of all, like I'm from Mississippi, everybody hollering, yelling. People always think that I'm yelling or hollering, especially if I get excited. I do kind of escalate my voice a little bit or the tone of my voice. That can impact a conversation too, because a person may think you getting offended or you may about to get angry. I think that's what fears my wife or my son, not fear, but they concern when I get, even my dog. Like if I start, she's in here with me. If I start talking real loud and the tone of my voice, she knows. She'll come over here and put her head in my lap and just won't leave my side because she know that I'm a little upset or the tone of my voice. So that's where communication come in, guys. You got to understand how to communicate one another. Your tone of your voice, I can be, I'm still have that Marine Corps mentality where I used to tell my Marines, you know, I could be tactful. I can chew your ass out tactfully. I can be on your ass and you won't even know it because I'm doing it tactfully. I'm doing it in a presentable manner that you don't even know I'm chewing your ass. But me, when I get excited and I get an aggression, the aggression of me, not always aggression. It's just the way I present it. So you have to start understanding when you're communicating with your significant other, your loved one, you're not angry. Sometimes you have to let them know, hey, babe, I need to talk to you for a minute. And don't take it the wrong way. I'm not mad. I just this is how I want to explain it to you or get it out. You know, maybe they would understand because you already know yourself that it's a touchy situation or touchy subject and you need to talk to them about it, but you don't want them to get upset or you don't want to get upset about it. You know, that's why people sometimes when they know a person get mad about a certain thing, they'll say, hey, I need to talk to you about something. Don't get mad. That should already let you know, that person know that you always get mad or something will provoke you. But if it's a loved one or significant other that knows you and care about you, they'll say, they'll find a different way and approach, especially if they know it's going to provoke you. But if it's someone that don't give a damn about you and always want to keep up that bad vibe and it's not a good healthy communication relationship, they're going to find every way possible to provoke you. Those are very bad relationships. Those are unhealthy relationships. Those are the kind of relationships you don't need in your life because they can lead to, once they start, they become verbal, and then they become physical. Point blank. There's no other way around it. I don't care who you are. If you are the type of person that get upset verbally in conversations, and it's always negative, 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 I guarantee you at some point, it's going to become physical. Because verbally emotional, this distress trauma is just as bad as physical. If it's physical, it can be worse, life-threatening, but verbally could be life-threatening as well because it affects with your mental health, and that's part of health. So a healthy relationship should be somewhere you can communicate without being afraid of the reaction of that person. You should be able to say, I had a rough day today, baby. Or that hurt my feelings, baby. Or I need some time, you know, or I need you right now more than ever. Or I need to talk to you. Or what you would say, oh, I disagree with you, babe. I don't understand. Help me understand. You know, communication, like, doesn't mean you always agree. Of course, you're not going to always agree with everything, but it's a start of communicating. And then you would know that other person dislikes or they beliefs, and you would know how to address it. My question for you, do you feel comfortable telling your partner when something is bothering you? How many of us feel comfortable telling our significant others when something is bothering us? I got my times that I don't really have to say that something bothered me. My wife knows me so much, Donna said, all the time. Okay, well, that's me. But my wife knows when stuff is bothering me. She'll come in and say, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you sure? I'm like, why? Which is weird because I do have a moment in my head or something that happened or I didn't like something. And then she'll say, you mighty quiet, or you haven't got up and got your water. You hadn't went outside, or you hadn't did this or whatever. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm just working on this or whatever, this and that. But she will check on me. Or if I go by wherever she's at in the house and I see her and she's sitting there or something, I'll say, hey, are you okay? You good? And she'll say, oh yeah, I'm good, or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. What you watching? You know, I go see what she's watching, make sure she's not watching something that, you know, could be disturbing or, you know, having emotional distress, or she try to stay away from things that remind her or, you know, the loved ones she lost, whatever. And I always tell her, you know, sometimes it's okay to feel sad that you miss your loved ones, but at the same time, don't let it affect your household. Don't let it affect the people around you now that love you. And that's what she tell me too, So communicating, understanding your significant other is very important, guys. Very important. Second thing I'm gonna talk to you guys about, holding everything inside and how it can affect you mentally. It really can. Think about what happens when, you don't communicate, guys. Something bothers you on Monday. You don't say anything. Something else happens on Wednesday. You still hadn't said anything. And by Saturday, you're angry about something small because you're carrying everything from that entire week, a burden on your shoulder. You're still upset from Monday. That's why communicating matter, guys. Small talk is big talk. Donna said, that's that grown folk shit. Love and marriage. I do my husband the same. He can't read me. He can't read you. Yeah, because your ass don't let him read you. You'll switch up on his ass real quick to keep him confused. I know you. Wow. I believe it. I know you. You'll switch up on him real quick. Damn. That's crazy. I know exactly. I know you. You my birthday twin. Shit, I already know you. I know your ass better than he know you. Trust me. So communication matters, guys. Really does. It really matters. So think about it. Your partner can't always read your mind. Now, I mean, mines can. Mines read my mind just as well as I read hers for the most part. But sometimes we expect someone to know exactly what's wrong with us without even telling them. And I've been guilty of that a lot. So they're not going to know unless you talk to them or tell them about it, okay? I'll be guilty about this, and I'll put this one out there. An example of my life, boots on the ground types. When I went to a casino and I've thrown stacks away, stacks. My wife already know when I come in the door. She already know my reaction, and she'll say, "You didn't stop, did you?" You know what? Ain't nothing I can say. But I be angry at her. I used to. I get angry at her for saying something to me about it. Why? Because there was no communication about problems that I had. I know I can't just leave out of the casino. I know I'm not going to leave out of there until I can't exhaust all my means of fun. That's why if I ever go to the casino, I make sure I've also had my bank. You can do this, guys. For those, I'm getting off subject a little bit, but you can do this. If you think you have a gambling problem and you go somewhere, for those who listen and they do, you can have that casino or somewhere to cut you off. You can actually have them 86 you. You can also have your bank to limit you can set your limits on how much you can withdraw from the ATM. I know you can with my banks, with Navy Federal and USAA. You can limit yourself, but don't go against what you have limit, because don't get mad at the bank because they won't let you get any more money out the ATM. The casino's going to let you get as much you want. They even let you go to the damn cashier cage, and I've done it plenty of time, and you'll get a cash withdrawal and pay them $30-40 just to get some of your money out or whatever. So limit yourself. Understand, communicate, know your ways. And don't get mad when your loved ones, significant others, are trying to tell you something that's going to help the both of you. So I was guilty of that, and it really hurts. It puts you in that's the worst feeling in the world when you go to casino and you done threw away stacks. I'm talking about damn near the whole life savings or something. I'm talking about stacks. I ain't talking about going and lose $200 or $300, guys. That some of us, probably get upset from losing, because that's their last or whatever. I'm talking about stacks. I'm talking about 9, 10, 11, 12,000, $13,000. I'm talking about stacks in general, So just keep that in mind. Yes, you can ban yourself. Yes, indeed, you can ban yourself. And that's what I've done in the past. That means if the casino see you coming and security see you on there, they're going to come ask you to leave. There's been places where times that they have 86 people, and people got mad and caused a disturbance because they won't let them in after they done 86 themselves, and they hit them up with a trespassing charge. Yeah, so don't ever get that bad, guys. Just communicate with yourself and your spouse to find out what's going on with you. And you guys, as my counselor had told me and my wife one time, take her with you, and you guys set a limit. Okay, say here's $50 and $100, and you ain't getting no more, and that's it. Y'all set a limit. That way you're enjoying yourself or whatever, and she with you, whatever. But don't get mad because she won't give you more money or whatever. They said don't get mad at her and cause a problem. Okay, just keep that in mind. I tried it and it really worked. When we do go to the casino, we go in there to splurge a little bit. My wife has said, okay, that's it. You ain't got nothing. Be like, you got any money? I ain't got no money on me. I ain't bring my bank card. I ain't got nothing. I'm like, damn, you ain't got $20? You ain't got that? No. Man, I'll be in there looking pitiful. She's like, let's go. That's a sign. Let's go. And hey, what can I do? Get my fat black ass up and leave. That's it. Point blank. Can't be mad because that was the plan from the beginning. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. That's all you're going to get. It's all what you're going to give you. Pretty much. So I can go when she let me go. So keep that in mind, guys. Communication is all the way around. It's all the way around. So what I was saying about by the time Saturday roll around, you build up all that stress upon yourself, and you haven't even taken the time to explain or say what happened on Monday, and that shit gonna explode. Then you start speaking before, and then you speak for resentment, start speaking of you. Then you'll start saying, then you start getting angry, bothered because you've been holding all that in all week. And that's going to cause you to explode on your significant other when it wasn't even their problem. Okay? So communicate, let them know, address the issue right then and there so you be well ahead of your emotional, your anxiety, your stress. Communicate as soon as it happens. Okay? The third thing I'm going to talk to you about. Listening is part of communicating, guys. Okay? Just because a person's just sitting there looking at you, staring, and they don't nod their head or whatever. That's some people form a way of listening. But you still have to say, okay, I'm listening. Keep going. Acknowledge them. Let them know that you're hearing them. Let them talk. Listening is part of communicating, guys. It's not just about talking. Listening is part of communicating. There's a difference between listening to understand somebody now and then just listening enough to prepare your comeback. All right? Don't just listen to somebody waiting to get your shot because you think they're throwing shots at you or they wrong or whatever. Listen enough so you can understand what they're talking about or how they feel about a situation, and then you can elaborate on it. Okay, listen, not waiting on your opportunity at your shot. Okay, listening is part of mental health and communicating. Because sometimes just listening isn't about just, that can fix a problem, just listening. You have to respond. You have to react on when you're listening to somebody. You listen, but you respond on what you're saying. You'll say, yeah, I heard you. I heard what you said. Because some people say, well, you didn't even hear what I said. Yes, I did. I heard what you said. This is what you said. Speak back to them so they can understand what you're saying. Not saying that they slow or stupid. Just paraphrase what they said. And then say, if you didn't understand what they said, well, okay, I heard what you said on there. Tell me again what you say about this. And then you can say, oh, okay, now that makes sense. This is how I feel about it. Or this is what I think about it. Because once a person understands, they know that you were listening to them, that can change the whole narrative. It can change the whole outcome of the conversation. Because they may be at the level where they're waiting for a negative response to provoke them more, or mentally they weren't prepared for an answer. So listening and understanding can give you a better response, if that makes sense. Okay? They don't just want you to know what they're saying. They want you to be listening to what they're saying. That can help. That makes a big difference. Okay? Listening and understanding can make a big difference. So don't just say, do you hear me? Put the phone down sometime. Turn the television down. Listen at your partner. I do that to my wife, and if she was on the chat or she came and she would tell you. When I go to show her something or talk to her about it, she's in there looking at her show or whatever. I say, can you pause your show for a real quick minute? Let me talk to you about this. I have to tell her to turn the television down or pause it or whatever so I can explain or tell her what I wanted to talk to her about. And I expect her to do the same thing when she come in to talk to me about something. She'll say, hey, you busy or whatever? Like, no, what is it? I'll know to stop what I'm doing and give her my attention. Because if I'm still focused and doing other things, I'm not really paying attention to what she's saying. I'm not listening to her. So sometimes you got to put the phone down, turn the television down, and just listen sometimes. Sometimes it's just like eating, gaining on weight. You should put the damn spoon down, close your fucking mouth sometimes. Point blank. That you just have to listen sometime. And before you start responding, make sure, as I said, you fully understand what that person is saying. Okay? Try this, for example. Say, okay, let me make sure I clearly understand you and get this correct. Let me make sure this I'm correct. All right, then you re-say what they're gonna say. So that can make a difference, because my wife, she'll do it sometimes. If I'm doing something and my mind racing, I'm doing something else, and then I'll say, okay, you doing it? She said, no, you didn't hear what I said. And then that let me know right then, okay, stop what you're doing and pay the fuck attention. Okay, get your head out your ass and listen to what she's saying, and respond the proper way, or understand what she's saying so you'll know how to respond. Okay, not every response is your correct response, no matter who you think you are. All right, I'm gonna say, you think that will work with me and my husband? Shit, it might, if you take the time to try it. Try that strategy and see how it works. Role play a little bit. Role playing works, cousin. I'm telling you, role playing works. Role play a little bit. Tell him you the doctor for the day, or have him say he's the doctor, and y'all have a conversation. Role play a little bit. Use some of that damn humor that you got sometime to make a positive statement. It won't work. Shit, you ain't trying. Give it a try. Try it and see. That one sentence that can prevent a whole argument sometime is, I clearly understand you. Okay, that can de-escalate a argument. Saying, I clearly understand what you're saying, but listen what I got to say. This how I think. My mouth too jazzy. You right about that. Close your damn mouth some fucking time. Close your damn mouth sometime and listen. Number 4 thing I want to talk to you about. Don't turn every disagreement into a war. Okay? Don't turn it into a war. This ain't about who's right and who's wrong. It's about communicating, listening, and talking about things that may be bothering you or may be upcoming. Okay? Be prepared. Every disagreement doesn't mean that you are a winner or a loser. Because if you are in a committed relationship and your goals are to always defend your partner, then how can you defend your partner when you allowing yourself to hurt them? You're going to go out there and be captain and say you're going to defend your partner from others on the outside, but you're not defending your partner inside. You're not taking care of them all the way around. Okay? Because if you're in a committed relationship, your goal is always to defend them no matter what the situation is. Who actually wins when you are, trying to see who the win or the loser? You can address the problem without attacking that person easily. But instead, what do we always do? What do we always do? We get defensive, most of us. So try this. When this happened, this is I try. I utilize it. I pay attention to my therapist all the time. This what happened. When this happened, this is how it makes me, feel when I do it. I tell them, hey, instead of saying you never listen to me, try. Can we talk for a minute? I really need to hear you. Really need you to hear me. Somebody gonna say, oh, that's bougie. No, it's not bougie. It works. You diffuse the situation. You gain control of that conversation before it even happened. You can go and walk into the room or wherever it may be and say, hey, baby, I need to talk to you for a minute. Can you give me a moment? Can we talk real quick on a serious note? Hey, this is what happened. And I don't think, that it was the right thing or whatever. Or what do you think about this? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this? Can we talk for a minute? Something like that. The goal should always be resolution about what's going on, a conversation, and not who's the dominant person. Well, I wear the pants in this family, or I'm the man of the house, or I'm the woman, this and that. I do this and do that. No, it should be mutual. Everything should be mutual. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can say is, we're both upset. Let's come back when we can talk about it and communicate respectfully. And that works. I tried it, guys. Trust me. I know what works for one person may not work for another person, but give it a try. It can't help but to try. It can't help but trying it. It's not going to hurt anything. It may help before it hurt. Donna say, I got to send you a video of me and my husband. It don't work here. Keep working on it, cousin. It can work. Keep working on it. It can work. Don't never say it. Don't give up. Don't give up. There's help. Help is on its way. And the fifth thing I want to talk to you guys about, the silent treatment isn't the healthiest communication, guys. You know how some people say, I'm going to give them the silent treatment. It'll kill them. No. Me, personally, I know it freaking pisses me the freak off when I get the silent treatment. That provokes me worse. It makes me worse because you looking at a person you think a person don't care if they give you the silent treatment. There's a difference between taking time to calm down and deliberately ignoring someone to punish them. That is not good. Donna said, we both clown too much. Nothing seriously here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's serious. You can get that, cousin. Trust me. It's okay to have fun, but do it healthily, in a healthy way. So saying, I need 30 minutes to clear my head, and then we'll finish this conversation. Or say, hey, look, all right, I'm about to run down to the store, grab something or whatever. Or I'm about to go do this, or I'm about to go work out. And when I'm done working and get my shower, and when we get to bed, let's talk, okay? Let's hold that conversation. I always tell my wife, hey, say that thought. We'll talk about that later. Because I know what type of I want to say mindset I'm in right at that point, especially if she catch me when I'm already in a kind of out of space mindset. I'll say, hey, you know what? I hear what you're saying, babe. We'll talk about it in a minute. Give me a few minutes. Let me finish this up, or I'll be in there in a minute. Can you fix us some coffee or tea or something? And then we'll come and sit down and talk to you. Or can you go find us a movie? I'll be in there in a minute and we'll talk about it before we watch our movie, or we'll talk about it after our movie, or something like that, guys. It works. Trust me, Donna, it really does work. It really does. But completely shutting that someone out without an explanation, it's going to create anxiety, confusion, and resentment, guys. It's going to be real bad. That's how most of the time arguments happen, because we shut each other out. We say, okay, I'm going to give him time to think about it. I'm not going to even respond. So I'm not going to even respond to her. I'm going to give him time to think about this. I'm going to make their ass suffer. You making things worse. You're actually making things worse. And the sixth thing I want to talk to you about before we get out of here. Communicating the wrong way when something is wrong can really make and break that communication cycle, guys. This is important. Communication shouldn't always sound like we need to talk, with aggression, or talk about your dreams. Like I say, I talk about my dreams all the time to my wife, especially if they bad, because she know what kind of mood she'll tell me something to get me, my mindset out of it. She'll ask me, did you take your nightmare medication, or whatever it may be. You can go sit down and you can say, hey, you want to talk about that dream that you had? Or, hey, you know what? Let's talk about the trip. Plan us a trip. Or, it shouldn't always be about something negative. It should be something about something healthy, you know, and it shouldn't be a conversation that you fear to talk about. You should be happy when you're having a conversation. And you should ask yourself, am I in a good state of mind before I branch out to have this conversation? Because the conversation needs to be had, but am I in a mindset where I'm calm and I'm relaxed and I'm okay, I'm happy right now? Donna say, I know it do. We just stay clowning. I don't argue. I do. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know that. I know y'all love each other. Y'all just have fun with y'all relationship, and that's what I like about it. It ain't no harming each other. There's no domestic violence or nothing. That's the good part about it. Laughter. It's good for the soul. So ask yourself when you have that conversation, are you mentally prepared to have this conversation? And do you know how to have yourself prepared, and you know what provokes that person? But sometimes it has to be talked about. But try a different strategy if you know certain things can trigger or set a person off. Start trying to find a different way to communicate with them. Whether you're communicating, some people just have that, they just angry at the world. And I don't care, something you do would never change, but you can work on it. You can actually, just like I'm not saying your significant other is an animal or something. You can train a person to be positive all the time and show them love and affection. Yeah, you can train them, because if you giving them that same energy and you instilling that into them all the time, that's all they're going to know. And that's all they're going to want to do is respond back to you with that type of energy. Donna said, my husband's so calm and I cut the fuck up. Yeah, George Keefe. I know. Trust me, Donna. I know you. You cut the fuck up way too much. You cut the fuck up before you go to sleep, and when you wake up, you still cutting up. We already know that. Y'all go over there and check out that crazy ass cousin of mine's platform. You'll see she don't do but cut up. She don't do but cut the fuck up. She's certified. She's real certified, 100% crazy, for real though. So the final message for you guys before I get out of here, for everybody listening tonight, remember, love really do need communication. Okay? Love needs some communicating. And don't assume, ask. Okay? Barry said, hey, cuz, I told Mike to let me send you some goo duck for you and the husband, and you'll be straight. She'll eat that shit too. She already said that. No, so I started shit just for the hell of it. I know, you the damn devil. She'll eat that shit, Barry. She'll eat the shit out that damn goo duck. For real though. She eat any fucking thing. Oh shit. So don't bottle up everything, guys. Put it out there, communicate, speak on it. Don't just hear. Listen. Don't attack that person you love because your anger is about a problem. Attack the problem together, guys. Attack the problem together. Your significant other should not have to be your enemy. You should be expressing how you feel with one another. It should never be about who's right or wrong. Okay? Never should be about who's right or wrong. You should be able to talk about it, communicate, and enjoy life with one another. Communication doesn't mean that you are never arguing with each other. It just means that you know how to respect each other and you know how to communicate with one another. It means you're learning how to disagree without destroying each other's emotion or destroying each other emotionally. So communicating is very important. Sometimes one of the most powerful things you can tell that person you love is, talk to me. I want to understand you. Okay, that's a very important statement that you can say, powerful, that you can say to your loved one. Talk to me. I want to understand. Okay, protect your relationship, protect your peace, and protect your mental health, guys. Very important. Because health is wealth. And I always say that. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. It's very important. Health is wealth. All right, remember that. I'm loving freedom, and remember, God loves you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow on another live at 5 if the Most High will, if He's His blessing. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining, as always. And as Donna say, don't forget, I almost slipped up and forgot, cousin. You guys, go down. It's in the comment section down here too. Down below, you'll see my YouTube channel, Loving Freedom, Pura Vida Travel Life. If you can't find it just under Pura Vida, put Pura Vida Travel Life. And my main TikTok page with my showcase store, guys. Go over there and pick up your product. I got some new product that I have added to my TikTok shop, just for those who know. I appreciate each and every one of the people that have went to my TikTok shop and made purchases, and I really do appreciate it. I know Barry had went in the past, bought stuff from my TikTok showcase, and I appreciate him as well. Donna always buying stuff from it. If I don't have it in there, she'll tell me to put it in there, vice versa. People will tell me to put it in there. I get it in there. And if you got any questions, comments, or concern, go send me a message at blackmaninmexico@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to respond to you guys. All right. I don't get around to all the emails all the time, but I'll do my best. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, comment under one of the videos, check out the travel videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. And we would like to have you guys along with us on our next travel venture. Okay. But I appreciate you guys watching as always. Until the next one. Bye now. Peace. One love. Bomino Donna.
Streets still the same real dude, just upgrading my seat. Veteran mindset, I done been through the storm. Now I'm cashing in peace while I'm living warm. Shorty riding with me. Yeah,